Well, a Northwich businessman, Jonathan Schoen, has come up with a new initiative in the community. Makerspace is a community workshop, a creative space where people can meet, learn and invent using 3D printers, craft supplies, power tools and specialist machines such as CNC lasers and loads more. He wants to create a space that's suitable for full-time creators and makers along with casual hobbyists and creative minds, both young and old. And I've got Jonathan here live in the Radio Northwich studio to tell us all about it. Good afternoon, Jonathan.
Good afternoon, Mike.
This come a little bit close to the mic and then everybody can hear. I'll pull the mic a little bit towards you if you like, yeah?
There we go.
That's lovely. Right, now you're loud and clear. Before we start talking about this new initiative, I think it's really exciting. I like this idea. Tell the listeners a little bit about yourself.
Right, okay, well, I'm a local businessman, like you've said there. I'm from Northwich, Weaverham, born and bred, from Hollywood Road. One and only, went to Weaverham High School.
Know it well.
Yeah, I think you're all from Weaverham, right, Mike?
Yeah, Acton Bridge, yeah, just round the corner. Yeah, but I know Weaverham really well, yeah.
Yeah, and I've been running Shadow Foam, which is the business I own, and which is based on Cosgrove Business Park.
What does that do, Jonathan?
So it's a grade of foam that we manufacture that is for organising hand tools.
All right.
And it came about because I was working as an engineer for a company in Winsford, a pharmaceutical company there, Advanced Medical Solutions they're called.
Right.
And there was a bit of a focus on getting everything organised, getting all your tools laid out, making sure you know where everything is. And I'm quite organised anyway. I like things nice and neat. And I like to know all my tools are back in the toolbox at the end of the day. That's the big one, you know. They cost money and you want to...
Yeah.
So I kind of went on this journey trying to find something. And at the time, the only real option was having something called CNC foam cutting. Inserts.
Right.
So you kind of send your power tool, you send your tools off, someone will scan them for you and they'll do a design and they'll cut you a foam insert and you're talking 300 quid for a drawer. Really expensive, quite a specialist thing, and it just was, you know, out of my budget big time.
Yeah. And also, other people's budgets.
Yeah, and who can be without the tools as well, you know, if you've not got your tools, you're not earning. I started, you know, buying in samples of foam from different foam companies and it was a long journey. 10 years I've been running Shadow Foam, but we developed this grade. It's called Shadow Foam now, and that's the company, that's the brand, and that's what we call the material. And it's in 7 colours, and essentially it's a polyethylene foam, so it's made out of the same stuff as plastic bottles.
Right.
And it's layers, all bonded layers, and you lay an item out, you cut around it with a knife, and you peel back the foam to create your own tool insert for a fraction of the cost. You know, you're talking maybe £10-15 for a drawer rather than 300. And we've been selling it for 10 years. It's been used in aviation. It's been used all over the world.
Wow.
It's used by quite a few of the F1 teams as well. So it's
really?
It is, yeah.
So where are you based?
In Anderton.
Oh, it's Anderton.
Yeah,
in the boat lift.
That's it. Right next to the boat lift.
Right. Let's talk about this makerspace. I think this is great. As a local business, you secured new premises, and preparations are now well underway for Northwich Makerspace. Tell us all about it. What is it? Tell us, what's the idea and what prompted you to come up with this idea?
Well, it's something that I wanted to do about 2 or 3 years ago, just before COVID, and I actually had the plans penciled in, as it were, and I had a unit that was going to be ideal for the makerspace.
Right.
And it's something that I've seen done there's quite a lot of them in the US, in America. They've got these makerspaces, community workshops, and there are quite a few across the UK, but none around here. The nearest one to us, in the fashion that we're setting it up as, which is more of a broad skills, not just woodworking. Yeah. It's nearest one's Manchester, which is, you know, not going to work for most people. No. So, but 2 years ago, obviously COVID happened, and you know, I kind of parked the plan. I just thought, you know, it's not going to work, and obviously I'm glad I did because no one would have been able to use it.
No, absolutely.
Yeah. So, but now, you know, another premises has kind of come available, which is going to be ideal for the space, and that's kind of the big one that's prompted the initiative, because I wanted to do it, but you know, you need to have the ducks need to line up. You need to have everything. You know, the plans have to fall into place almost. You know, and that's what's happened now. We've had a premises that's come available, which is perfect. It fits in the budget, and it's a big enough. It's a 5,000 square foot premises, and it's pretty huge. And we can fit in there everything we want to fit in there. So a full welding, a metal working shop, a full woodworking shop, some communal assembly areas. But then we can also put in there like a dry classroom for sewing and 3D printing, and different dry clean crafts. And then we can have a big wet kind of classroom as well, which is going to be for painting and for pottery and things where you need water, basically, and it's a bit messier.
So just to be clear then, by the sound of it, this is a workshop that anybody can use. They're either people with expertise or people who just do things as a hobby. The idea is to create this like a community workshop that people can bob in or out of, use all the tools that you've got, I assume. Is that what you're providing there? So they can actually look at creating a new hobby or a new interest, or they can develop what they're doing already at home but don't have the facilities for, yeah?
Exactly. There's loads of people who have really amazing skills, and they've kind of honed those skills but in their own workshop, and kind of like no one else can see what they're doing. And if they come down to the makerspace, obviously they have to pay for membership. That's how the space is going to be run, but they'll be able to learn from others and learn new skills, expand their kind of horizons when it comes to making things, but also pass on their skills and expertise to other people and benefit from bigger machinery. So usually when you're a hobbyist, you have to have hobbyist style equipment, smaller equipment, smaller bed sizes on CNC machines. And with a makerspace...
What's a CNC machine?
So a CNC is basically a computer controlled tool. CNC can be used for lots of different applications.
Okay.
But, the way that we'll be using it is guiding a laser. One of the machines we've got in there is an 80-watt laser.
Right.
It's a 1.2 metre bed. And you can put in any design you want. You could put in some text, or you could put in a shape or some parts you want to make out of a flat material. And then the laser will be controlled by the computer, and it'll cut out all the shapes you want. It can cut MDF, it can cut metal, it can cut leather materials, and it's far more efficient. You can take bigger sheets of material, you can cut it all up.
Very latest technology.
Cutting edge technology, literally.
So in other words, what you'd be able to provide here that people working from home couldn't provide really is in industrial professional equipment that they would be able to use.
That's part of it, but I think that's not really the most important part.
Okay.
The benefit of having a community is that you can basically pool in your resources and getting better equipment, but also by pooling your resources, you're pooling your knowledge.
Right.
And there's more people. And
so people can learn off other people.
Yeah.
So what kind of people are you looking, to join this initiative?
It's anyone really that's got some enthusiasm for making things or for learning how to make things. I think the space only works if people come down there with enthusiasm to learn. This isn't something. It's obviously a membership makerspace, and it's important that it's a membership and that people are paying to use the space, because then they're going to make the most of it, and they're going to respect the space, they're going to respect the tools, and they're going to leave it tidy, and it's going to work as a really great communal space. And that's why it's important that it's a membership basis. And also that way we can make sure that everyone is properly inducted. We can spend a few hours with each person, training them and showing them how to use the equipment. And we can invest that time to make sure they know how to get the best out of the machinery, and then it's safe.
So by the sounds of it, they don't have to have any particular expertise. This will benefit anybody from the amateur model maker, let's say, up to those people who are a lot more qualified and have a lot more expertise.
We've had some the crowdfunder, which is a big part of how we're setting this up.
That was going to be my next question.
Yeah.
How are you actually funding this? Because you're not going to do this out of your pocket. I mean, come on, you're a businessman. So how are you actually going to fund this?
Well, it's all out of my pocket, actually. Is it
really?
It's entirely out of my pocket at the moment, yeah. So I've put in a lot of money so far, because I think this is I love the idea. I really genuinely love the makerspace idea. I've seen other people do it. I've seen it in America, and I know that it just drives entrepreneurship, it drives invention, and it drives creativity. Because when you've got a lot of people don't know what tools exist. They don't know that CNC laser equipment exists. They don't know that you can take sheet metal and fold it and bend it and make whatever you want. So making those skills and making that machinery available to as many people as possible at a really affordable cost, and hopefully when the space is fully open, we can have some scholarship places, and then we can then open the space up to people who can't afford the membership, and we can really start showing people what is possible. And then obviously that then feeds creativity, and once you know what you can do with the machines, you can then start thinking, building on ideas. And these makerspaces have been responsible for some really great inventions and some great products, and some great community projects too, because people want to come together. I've seen it with this crowdfunder so quickly. As soon as that crowdfunder launched, I had so many messages of support, and people I've had more people offer their expertise to come and voluntarily teach people than I've had people become members. I think we've had 25 people already signed up as members, But I've probably had about 40 people who said, look, I'd love to come and teach sewing, I'd love to come and teach 3D printing, I'd love to come and teach how to do woodworking and metalworking. And
so it's a two-way thing, this, isn't it?
Entirely.
What you're setting up here is something that's going to give not only better ability to those people who have hobbies and are creative and what have you, but also for those people who maybe are retired, who have that
knowledge,
expertise that's built up over years and years and years, that now they'll actually be able to pass that knowledge on to younger
people who want to know.
Yeah, exactly.
And that's the difference, because I love apprenticeships too, and I'm a big advocate for apprenticeships. I was an apprentice myself,
right?
But you need the apprentice to be driving their own learning, and that's the beauty of this space. The people who are going to be going down to this space, because there's something about paying for something that you value it more. When you give something away for free, it's not valued as much.
That's absolutely true.
But as soon as you pay for it, the value is there. So that's why the makerspace has to have a membership payment, because then the people who are going down there are going to want to get as much knowledge out, and they're going to appreciate it. And then those people that are down there who are looking to share their expertise aren't going to be frustrated. There's nothing more frustrating than kind of like trying to teach someone who doesn't want to learn. And it's your job, you're trying to train this person, and they're not really that interested. Obviously teachers have that all the time, don't they? Half the students want to learn, the other half don't.
Correct.
So this space is set up for success. It's setting up the people who want to learn for success, and it's also setting up the people who've got the expertise and want to share it, to actually enjoy that process and not be frustrated by it.
You're obviously very enthusiastic about this. There are two elements to this, aren't there? There's the setting up cost, the actual initial capital cost, and that's what the crowdfunding is for, I assume.
And the personal investment,
and your personal investment.
Yeah.
You've then talked about a membership, and you're quite right in what you say. If you're giving things away to people, they're not as appreciative as if they're actually having to pay for it. What's a likely membership likely to be for people? You said you've already got people that have signed up.
Yeah.
What's a membership fee likely to be? Is it dependent on what people want to do, or?
Yeah, we are. It's a moving target at the moment, actually, because I'm kind of changing the model based upon feedback from people who want to support it. So we've already changed it slightly. So the initial offering was that it was a £40 membership, but reduced to £35 a month for anyone who becomes a founding member, we're calling them. So anyone who joins before it opens, it's £35 a month, and they have full access, 24-hour access to. This is a communal space where they'll have a key. They'll be able to use the space once they've been properly inducted. They've been signed off. There will be some rules in place for people. You can't have someone lone working.
But they'll have access to all the equipment, will they? And
all
the facilities that are there, the workshops and what have you.
It's all built on trust as well, because we're it's 3 strikes and you're out. Obviously, there's rules when you're paying for something, just like at a gym. If you abuse the space, you won't be invited back, or your membership will be taken away. But essentially, we're trusting that we're going to bring in members, fully induct them, show them how to use the equipment, show them how to use the space, make everything available to them, including some free community resources as well. So we've had a lot of materials donated already, and they'll be all on hand. And the members can use the space 24/7 whenever they want. They can go down there and work. We know that some people are night owls like me, and I like to work into the evening, and then others are early birds and might want to be down there at the crack of dawn, working on something. So,
so total flexibility really for people.
Yeah. So, but then obviously with a membership, we've had a lot of people then contact us saying, "Well, I don't really want to pay £35 a month." And,
fair enough,
which makes sense. And maybe they're not going to use the full facility. Maybe the metalworking and woodworking is not really up their alley, but they'd like to learn sewing and they'd like to learn 3D printers. So we've introduced a craft membership, which is partial access to the space, whereby you can use the dry classrooms, clean classrooms, the 3D Fab Lab, we're calling it, which is the 3D printers and CNC machines, and they can use all the craft supplies, but they don't have access to the hot working, metalworking, woodworking, mainly because there's a huge amount of safety and induction time goes into that part.
So different levels of membership, really.
Yeah, two levels
depending on what the requirement is for your members. Whereabouts is this?
So it's on Cosgrove Business Park.
Oh, right,
so
okay.
Anderton, it's just over the Barnton Bridge.
Yeah.
On the right-hand side, there's a business park there. That's where Shadow Foam, our core business, is, my main business.
Okay.
I've been going 10 years. And then the Northwich Makerspace is just a few units along.
Okay. When are you hoping for this to go live? What's the timescale on this?
So we got keys.
Is it dependent upon the number of members? Are there a minimum number of members to make this sustainable, or have you got a date in mind already?
We have both. So we need a minimum of about it's looking at about 33 members right now. It needs in order to to wipe its nose.
Okay.
Say, to
and
cover
you've
its
got
costs.
20 odd,
We're not far off 24, yeah.
Wow.
And it's what was the other question?
Yeah,
when's it open?
When were you going? Yeah, what plans have you got? What's the timetable for actually opening?
Yeah, so we got the keys last week on Monday, and
Okay.
we're already flying along. We've already fully coached all the floors.
Lots of kitting out to do.
We've had a lot of machines arrive already.
Really?
We've been sourcing it all. A lot of it is second-hand equipment that we can get far better quality equipment, and we can get it at a better price, cheaper.
Yeah.
So we're sourcing a lot of second-hand equipment. We're bringing it all in. We should have all of the facilities in place, which by that I mean all the toilets, kitchen, the main like classroom areas should all be done in the next 6 weeks. So they'll be done by just coming up to the end of October. Then November will be all of the machine shops being set up with all the proper extraction, ducting, sockets, so that we have fully usable spaces. And then we're looking to open first week of January.
Wow, that soon.
That soon, yeah.
Fabulous.
When things are run commercially like this, I think you can get a lot done with a lot less money and a lot quicker, because you've got enthusiastic people driving it, me, and I've got a few other people help me, and we're enthusiastic. We've got a target, we want to meet it, and there's no reason to hang around. There's no reason to delay.
I was going to ask you, is it just you on your Todd, or have you got other people helping you? Because this sounds quite a big outgoing.
It is an endeavour, isn't it? Well,
yeah.
I'm fortunate that being in business for 10 years, you make a lot of contacts.
You do.
You make a lot of friends. You find people that you can rely on, and that you can lean on a little bit. So, for example, we've had all the floor resin coated. Well, that was done by someone who'd already resin coated 2 of my other units.
Right.
They've come in, they understand the project, they've done it a lot cheaper, and they've done it really quickly. They did it the 2 days after I got the keys. Same with the mezzanines, same with the work, and then I've got some fantastic local joiners, Jonathan and Rob Atkinson from Atkinson's of Cheshire. They've helped me with loads of work in my other units, and they're going to be coming and helping. And they've already been helping in this unit as well for a much lower cost. Just there's a cost involved because they're dedicating a lot of time. They'd obviously give me a few days for free, but we're talking 2-3 months of work.
Absolutely, no. I'm full of admiration. I'm sure our listeners are as well, and the team are here full of admiration for what you're achieving. So, what you want people to do now is to contact you with regard to potential membership.
Yeah,
they can do that. What contact details have you got? If you can let me have any links, I'll put them on our Facebook page on Sunday when we do a recording of this program. And for you listeners out there, I'm not here next week. I'm going away for a few days, so I won't be doing a live Northwich Now program. But we will be doing a recording of this program next Friday. So unfortunately for you guys, you're going to listen to me droning on for another 3 hours next week, but exactly the same program. So you will hear Jonathan again next week, but in the meantime I'm going to ask him, can you send me any links over with regard to if people want to contact you, either, if you don't mind, by telephone or by email, or your I'm assuming you have a website.
You're more than welcome to contact me on
you can have, let me have those links, and what we'll do, we'll put them on our Facebook page on Sunday when a recording of the program comes out. Any interviewees that I've had, I put all the links on from today's program, so if you can let me have them, and then anybody who's a potential member can actually contact you, if that's okay.
Yeah, of course, and I'll put all the links, but the main thing to remember, it's just called Northwich Makerspace. Yeah. And if you just go on northwichmakerspace.co.uk, that'll take you exactly where you need to go. And you can see all the links there to the Instagram, the Facebook, and if you message any of those messages are going to come straight to me. So I've seen all of the messages, I've been replying to every single one, and we've had loads of offers of help and support with like we say, expertise and their knowledge. So get in touch with me. I'll be straight back to you, and I'd love to have you on board. And obviously, the northwichmakerspace.co.uk has got all the info on it on how to become a member. So listen, all you crafters, all you hobbyists out there, doesn't matter what degree you're at, whether you're just a home. Whether you're just a homegrown hobbyist or what have you, model maker or what have you, if you're looking really to develop what you're able to do, not only that, if you're looking to get some friendship and partner in and maybe help other people as regards what you're doing, Makerspace to me sounds the ideal opportunity, and Jonathan's looking for people to become members so they can actually share and use and learn and chat with other people and come together with other members of the community over at his workshop
workshop over at Anderton there. So it just remains for me to say, Jonathan, thank you very much for coming in. Really appreciate it. It sounds fabulous to me. I'd love to know how you're getting on. Maybe in January you could come back on the programme, and once you've gone live, maybe I can come down and do an interview down with you at the actual workshop and talk to some of your members. It sounds fantastic.
Yeah, fab. Well, we'll be doing an open day actually. It's going to be 2-3 weeks from now. What we want to do is we want the community to also see the process of setting it up, not just become a member in January.
Let me know the date for that, and I can always feature that. Not necessarily another feature on Makerspace, but I can feature it on my little news clips that I do. Okay, so if you'd like to send that through to me, okay.
I will do. Yeah, definitely.
Jonathan, I wish you all the best. I'm sure all our listeners do. It sounds a great opportunity for people, really. Not just to give people the added the additional availability for for better equipment and what have you, but also to create something of a community gathering where people can come to get together and actually associate together.
The social element of it and the well-being that it can offer to those who might feel isolated as well.
Yeah, absolutely.
It can be quite isolating working in your own workshop, making things. If you're making them to sell or you're making them to keep, whatever you're doing, when you're on your own in your workshop, it's sometimes it's difficult, isn't it? And it's easier to be part of a group and have a little bit more of association with others.
I'm sure. Jonathan would love to hear from you folks. That's Makerspace over at Anderton. Jonathan, thanks for coming on the programme.
Thanks very much, Mike.